Happy hump day. We are on an 8-3 run and we got a full 15 game slate. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and welcome back to another full 15 game slate that we have today. You heard it, we went 2-2. It was ho hum. We pretty much split, lost a little bit of juice. We'll go over the bets recap in a little bit, but before we get to anything, I just want to give everyone a heads up. Any graphics that come up later in this video are from that handy app called Outlier. If you don't know about it, you are missing out, that's for sure. But they do have a great iOS app also for Apple phones. I don't have an Apple phone, but I've seen it on my wife's phone. I cannot stand Apple phones, to be honest with you. But other than that, guys, they give out positive EV bets, in-depth stats, as you guys have seen for baseball, but you guys haven't even seen a half of it with NBA, NFL, and WNBA, and so on and so on. It is just incredible. So just want to be sure that you guys know to click the link below, try the free trial, because I'm always about trying to help you guys out and help out your own research, and this app does just that. So anyways, but it's time to announce the Dinger Tuesday contest winner. Congrats to 6 different people. That's right. We have a huge showdown ahead of us. Now, here we go. At Rolling Dice 3336, at Gregory Reiser Jr. 9240, at Mr. K Rizzo 78, at Lori Switzer 5157, at Todd Leopold 2009, and at Bridge Life Shire. Hopefully I said all those right. Every single one of them had Corbin Carroll, and if you have a tie with the same player, if that's the winner, then I'm not going to punish anybody for having different odds on different sports books, but those are the 6 ties. So because we got so many, we're not going to do total bases showdown. We're going to do the same dang thing. That's right. Each one of you must include a home run pick in the comments below. Include your odds, sportsbook. Nothing changes. Highest odds win. Hopefully someone hits. If not, we will have a different tiebreaker, but that's what you have to do. So you 6 people, congrats. There was a few plus 600, plus 650 winners out there. But Corbin Carroll on most books was around 850, so that's what takes it. So those are the finalists for the $40 prize. Be sure to leave that comment below. Now, it's time to get into it. It's time to talk some more baseball. Like I said, we got a full 15 game slate on Wednesday, and we got some games that start early as well. So let's get into it. But of course, that means it's baseball fun fact time. And I just can't get over Barry Bonds. Let's just face it. So I'm going to give you 2 more insane Barry Bonds stats today, just like we did yesterday. But here we go. Pick any 2 players in the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds has more MVP awards than both of them combined. Doesn't matter which 2 you pick. Bonds had 7. Absolutely insane. From 2001 to 2004, the percentage of Bonds' plate appearances that ended in either a home run or a walk was 39.5%. We're talking around 40% of his at-bats was either a bomb or a walk. Just can't even put into words. Absolutely insane. Now, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday. Of course, that 2-2 day, good and bad hitter matchups. And then because it's Wednesday, we're going to talk who's on fire, hitters on fire in the last 7 days. Then the good pitcher strikeout matchups, the full pitcher report. And then, of course, we'll wrap it all up with the best bets, the hitter parlay ideas, and the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below. I appreciate every single one of your guys' comments, the feedback, the positivity, everything. It really means a lot. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we're on our way to 28,000 subscribers with the NFL only a couple weeks away. So let's get into it now. And it starts with the recap. All right, there it is. The 2-2 day just lost a little bit of juice, but Robbie Ray over 6.5 Ks gets it done in the 6th inning and then adds on some more. He ended with 9 strikeouts. Bryce Miller, what a terrible read and a frustrating game to watch as a bettor of Bryce Miller, because from the get-go, it was long at bat after long at bat. It wasn't like he was just getting hit all around the park or anything, but 8 pitch at bat or 9 pitch at bat to Freddie Freeman in the first, and then it just kept going on. Foul balls. 6 pitch walks. It was just brutal. It was just a bad read, and he couldn't get the job done. He didn't even make it through 5 innings. It sucked. But and then the third one, it was a half unit play. Martin Perez let us down. He just could not miss any bats. He looked absolutely awful. I think he ended with 2 Ks before getting pulled, and then Davis Martin did not win, but unfortunately we had the wrong first leg. Again, half unit loss, which was offset by Aaron Judge over 1.5 bases. You guys already saw it probably. First at bat after Soto hit a home run, and he hits an absolute tater to right center field. So there it is, 2-2 day, ho hum. It is what it is. Tuesdays can be hard, but so we'll take it and move on. 8-3 run in the last 11. So let's get back on track. Let's get that sweep now on a hump day. There's the overall record as we dug out of that huge hole early in the year. If you want to tail me based on my records, obviously you only want to tail player props and not game bets. So that's what we got. Now let's talk the good and bad hitter matchups. All right, we got 12 good matchups for you today. Starts out with JT Realmuto, 13 for 38, 6 extra base hits, and 3 bombs versus the lefty Max Fried. Trey Turner, 13 for 34, or 13 for 35 with 3 bombs against Max Fried as well. And then we got Jeff McNeil, Javi Baez, who hit that walk-off bomb against the Mariners a couple days ago. George Springer down there, who just hit a bomb yesterday, 5 for 15 with a home run versus Nick Martinez. And over there on the right, another Philadelphia Philly, because they are very familiar with the Braves. But Castellanos, 6 for 12 with a home run versus Max Fried. And then there's the rest of the guys finishing it off with Jake Hamburger at 4 for 6 with 1 home run versus Jordan Montgomery. So those are the good hitter matchups. Now let's check out the bad hitter matchups, and we only got 5 of those for you. Travis d'Arnaud, 6 for 37 with 10 Ks versus Aaron Nola. Yeah, that's not good. And then we got Kyle Schwarber, 4 for 21 with 9 Ks versus Max Fried. A little surprising there because Schwarber does hit lefties well. And then so on and so on. Salvador Perez, 2 for 12. Kevin Kiermaier, no one's probably rushing to the window to bet his hits prop. 1 for 12. But William Contreras, surprisingly, 2 for 16 with 9 Ks versus Kyle Gibson. So that's what we got for all the matchups. And now let's talk who's on fire. All right, here are the hitters on fire in the last 7 days. Now, we usually do a minimum of 20 ABs, but there just wasn't a ton of players. So I went down to a minimum of 18 at-bats this week. You have to have an average of 340 or higher. The first 2 guys were guys we saw almost all of last year, it seemed like, but we have not seen much of them at all this season, especially Simeon. But 345, Adolis Garcia, teammate 360, and the most home runs in the last 7 days at 3 home runs. And then as you go through this, obviously you see Luis Robert, 409 for the White Sox. Gavin Lux has really been hitting the ball well for the Dodgers at 429. And then you got Witt down there who just is the man. That's all there is to it. And his teammate, Vinny P, 400 average with the league leading in the last 7 days with these stipulations. 8 ribbies. So not too bad at all. But that's page 1. Take a screenshot. Hopefully it helps you get some winners today and the rest of the week. And page 2 is only 3. That's right. We don't have as many this time, but Julio Rodriguez, 368. He's had a rough year. I'm not going to lie. But Marcelo Zuna, how about 500 average? Leading the league in the last 7 days. It's just been absolutely insane. Again, leading the league with all players who at least have 18 at-bats or more. And then Miguel Rojas finishes it off hitting 444 for the Dodgers. So that's what we got for the who's on fire in the last 7 days. And now let's talk some arms. All right, we only got one good pitcher strikeout matchup for you today, and it's Mr. Jack Flaherty against the Seattle Mariners. We know this is just repetitive. Mariners, second highest K percentage versus righties last 3 weeks, 27%. Flaherty, 157 Ks in 123.1 innings. Flaherty, 7+ Ks in all 3 starts as a Dodger, 10 versus the Pirates, as you see there. Almost identical, like to the exact number, home and road K splits, so nothing there. He has 6+ Ks in 18 to 21 starts, 7+ Ks in 14 to 21, just to show his consistency this year. And the Mariners just suck at their job of putting the bat on the ball. That's just all there is to it. I wish I could make millions sucking at my job. And then quick note down here, because you might wonder, Garrett Crochet at the almost said New York Giants, almost football time, San Francisco Giants. I didn't include it because, well, guys, Crochet's not pitching much. He hasn't pitched more than 4 innings since June 30th. So, maybe you still get a line where you think he can get over it. But when he hasn't done this in a month and a half over 4 innings, it for me, it's just kind of a stay away. But the Giants do have the 5th highest K rate versus lefties, if I could speak. 5th highest K rate versus lefties in the last 3 weeks. So that's all I got for the pitcher strikeout matchups. And now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, these are the first 8 matchups of the day. No pitcher yet listed for the Orioles, Pirates, or Rangers. That entire game between the Pirates and Rangers has nothing right now. But we already talked about Garrett Crochet going up against Logan Webb, who has been absolutely dynamite lately, if that's still a word people use. Logan Webb's been missing quite a few bats as well. And we just talked about Crochet, but Justin Verlander is back on the mound for the Astros, going up against Cooper Criswell. We'll see what kind of form and pitch count Verlander is on. But we got the knuckleballer throwing in San Diego and Matt Waldron against Simeon Woods Richardson. Should be a decent matchup. And then Jordan Montgomery, who just has not found his groove. That's right. Going up against Rodri Munoz. There could be some absolute runs in that game. And then Gordon giving up the most hits on the slate at 11.7, going up against Mitchell Parker, the rookie of the Nats. And then we got Cantillo, who I don't know much about, but the numbers don't show a good start in the first 13 innings, going up against nasty Nestor Cortez. So those are the first 8 matchups with all the averages on the bottom. Take a screenshot. And now let's take a look at the final 7. All right, we got a great pitching matchup in Atlanta with Max Fried against Aaron Nola. These guys have faced each other quite a bit, but similar K numbers and similar ERAs and all that. But Max Fried, 3.05 expected ERA, been solid as usual. Other than that, not a great pitching matchup in St. Louis. Jameson Taillon of the Cubs going up against nobody as of right now for the Tigers. And then Johnny Cueto. Does anyone remember Johnny Cueto? I didn't even know he was still trying to pitch. He has not pitched yet. This will be his first start of the year. He's pitching for the Angels. He is 38 years old, going up against Michael Lorenzen of the Royals. And then we got a great pitching matchup, another one in LA, Logan Gilbert versus Jack Flaherty. Look at those numbers. I mean, what else can I say? The only thing Flaherty really does better is that he strikes out more guys. Exact same walk rate, very similar ERA and expected ERAs. Pretty crazy to think Logan Gilbert has been as good as Jack Flaherty. The offenses on those teams, a different story though. So anyways, those are the final 7 matchups and all of them on the pitcher report for today. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first bet takes us out to the Bay Area where the Giants host the Chicago White Sox. Giants on the money line minus 238, White Sox on the money line plus 195 with a total of 7 runs. I'm going player prop. Give me Logan Webb to record a win at plus 110 on Bet365. So let's talk about this. Why the heck are we getting plus money for Logan Webb at home against the White Sox to just record a win? Probably because he's facing Garrett Crochet, but that does not scare me as much as it might scare other people. Did you know the White Sox have lost 9 of the last 10 starts for Garrett Crochet? He is only going 4 innings or less every time. We just talked about in the pitcher strikeout matchups, and after that is an absolutely terrible, horrendous, awful, miserable White Sox bullpen. Now, Crochet in the last couple months himself, even in limited innings, he's pitched 10.1 innings so far in August. How about a 7.94 ERA? 13 innings in July, 4.85 ERA. He's not exactly dominating when he's been out there. And after Crochet leaves in the 4th, Logan Webb's going to be out there for quite a while, probably for another 3 innings. Webb has gone 7+ innings now in 3 of his last 4 starts. We know he's a guy who can go 7 innings in absolutely every start. So as you can see with this screenshot from Outlier, Webb has now recorded a win in 7 of his 12 home starts. And some of those weren't even when he was in his best form. But is he in his good form now? Yes, absolutely. In August, 0.89 ERA in 20.1 innings with a 164 batting average against, 24.4% K rate, which is higher than it's been all year. Overall, Webb has a ridiculous 2.26 ERA at home in 83.2 innings. He has been dynamite. We all know he relies on the ground ball, and he is really ramping that ground ball rate up again. And it's just tough to hit in San Francisco, and it's really tough to hit Logan Webb in San Francisco. Webb has actually recorded now 4 wins in a row overall. Let's talk offenses. We all know the White Sox, they've been closer to average lately. I will say that. But they're still not a good offense. We know that. The Giants hit lefties really well over the course of the season. And again, if they don't hit Garrett Crochet for more than a run or whatever it is, I'm not too worried because we're going to have 7 innings probably before Logan Webb even gets out of the game. And they're going to be able to attack that White Sox bullpen also. So much better starting pitcher in better form right now. I think right now Logan Webb, the much better offense and the 10 times better bullpen just because every MLB team is a better bullpen than the White Sox. So I think Webb picks up his 5th straight win here. We're getting a team on the money line at almost minus 200, over minus 200, and we're just needing Logan Webb to pick up the win at plus money. Love the value here. That is my first best bet. All right, before we get into this second best bet, we got to talk about our sponsor, KALSHI. You guys know I do trades of the day. Me and Ryan are having a ton of fun. If you don't know anything about it, it is a very unique, one-of-a-kind website, federally regulated in all 50 states. It's like stocks. You can buy, sell, but all world events. And I'm becoming somewhat of a weather guru. Let's just face it. In a trade of the day, I think it was last week, I bet some contracts, paid some contracts for above 5.5 inches of rain in New York City.
and above 6 inches. They are both about to cash. As you can tell by this screenshot right here, we're about to cash out and make some money. It's been a lot of fun. Somehow I'm better at weather than everything else. So anyways, go check out KALSHI. The link is below. First 500 signups get a $20 bonus credit. So that's what we got. But now back to the bets. And this second one takes us out to the nation's capital where the Nationals host the Colorado Rockies. Nats on the money line minus 166. Rockies on the money line plus 140 with a total of 8.5 runs. We have another player prop, which I like to say that right off the bat because I know that makes you guys a little bit more excited to hear the bet. Mitchell Parker over 5.5 Ks at minus 115 on DraftKings for 1 unit here. I got to start jumping on this lefties versus the Colorado Rockies. I've cashed a bet or two before, but I should be on it almost every time, to be honest with you. Let's dive into this one. So the Rockies versus lefties. Let's go over some numbers here. 15 of the last 21 lefty starters have gone over this 5.5 Ks line. This includes guys like Kyle Harrison, who didn't just go over 5.5. He had 11 strikeouts. Absolutely insane. Pretty similar K rate to Mitchell Parker. Blake Snell, 15 strikeouts. Obviously, Snell's a better K guy, but that's insane. Martin Perez, 7. DJ Hurts, 7. Jordan freaking Montgomery had 8 strikeouts against the Rockies. Guys, Monty, if you don't know, has had 5 or less Ks in 15 of 18 starts this year. He has a minuscule 15.6% K rate, and he got 8 against the Rockies. Now, lefty starters at home versus the Rockies, which means Colorado's away from Coors Field. Again, I've said this before, is a big difference. This is the one team where it's a big difference what happens in Coors Field in elevation as opposed to on the road. 9 of the last 11 lefty starters at home, so away from Coors Field, have gone over this 5.5 Ks line. Now let's talk about Mitchell Parker himself. He got lit up in his last start, 9 earned runs versus the Philadelphia Phillies, but he still had 6 Ks and went over this line somehow. He has had now 5+ Ks in 7 of his last 10 starts, and the 3 times he didn't get 5, they were against really low K teams. The Brewers twice and the Arizona Diamondbacks, so it really means nothing compared to a Rockies team. Now, I know 5 Ks is not going to cash us, but if 5 is the floor here, and we just are asking for 1 more against this team, I just absolutely love our chances. But Rockies offense now versus lefties since July 1st, a 30.8% K rate, the second highest. I'm going back to July 1st because you don't always face a lot of lefties. So if I just do 2 weeks or so, sometimes it's only like 1 or 2 pitchers. So it's been like this all year. So since July 1st versus lefties, second highest at 30.8%. On the road for the Rockies, away from Coors Field, it's absolutely insane. 35.6% K rate versus lefties. Obviously, that's the highest in the major leagues by a decent amount. I think any average strikeout pitcher should be able to get 6 Ks against the Rockies, especially away from Coors Field. And then a final note, by the way, Mitchell Parker did face the Rockies in June 22nd in Colorado and had 8 strikeouts. So I like Mitchell Parker. I never thought it'd be betting a Mitchell Parker K line, but I have to here against the Rockies. Just too good to pass up. I mean, if Jordan Montgomery can get 8 Ks, I mean, come on, Mitchell. But anyways, give me Parker over 5.5 Ks as my second best bet. And now let's talk those good hitter parlay ideas. All right, I got 3 good hitter parlay ideas for you today. And the first one, Nick Castellanos of the Phillies, hitting 350 the last 7 days. As you saw earlier, he's an impressive 6 for 12 off Max Fried. Hits lefties better, 279 versus lefties compared to 240 versus righties. We're riding the hot bat here in a good matchup for him, and at least with how good he's hitting Max Fried. Xavier Edwards of the Marlins, the second one, hitting 333 off lefties this year. He's facing Jordan Montgomery. Only Tanner Flash Gordon has more hits per 9 innings on this slate today than Jordan Montgomery. He's given up 11.4 hits per 9 innings. And Xavier Edwards, 1+ hit in 36 of his 44 games this season. Yes, I did pick one of those 8. He did not in a hitter parlay. The third one, Luis Garcia of the Nats. And again, guys, I'm giving you sometimes just under the radar ones, not the Bobby Witts every day and those kind of guys. So obviously these are not the best. There's other great elite players, but just want to kind of find some gems in there for you guys as well. But Luis Garcia of the Nats, hitting 348 in the last 7 days, facing the most hittable starting pitcher of the day in Flash Gordon, giving up almost 12 hits per 9 innings. Luis Garcia is hitting 303 versus righties this year, and he's absolutely crushing it at home, hitting 346 at home. He has 1+ hit in 15 of his last 20, 2+ hits in 3 of his last 4. I like Garcia along with Edwards and Castellanos as 3 good matchups and just kind of good value plays for some hitter parlay ideas if you want to do that. So that's what I got. Those are the hitter parlays. That's the 2 best bets so far. Any added plays will be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord in the morning. and then all the research help you need. Let's have a great Wednesday. But before we wrap it up, let's check out the recap. All right, those are the first 2 bets so far. Give me Logan Webb to record a win at plus money on Bet365, plus 110. And then Mitchell Parker of the Nats over 5.5 Ks at minus 115 on DraftKings, fading those Rockies bats. So, again, I already mentioned it, but any added plays will be in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord. The Discord link is in the description below, and it's absolutely free, so go join it. And then in the next week or so, we're going to have our NFL season preview video. It's going to be a lot of fun talking football. But hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Appreciate all the support, and we'll talk to you soon.